Hey everybody, welcome back to City Sowers. I wanted to let everybody know kind of what's going on, why I haven't put any videos up in the past couple weeks. Thing is, we got COVID and I have been too sick to film anything or even really to edit. I've been quite miserably sick and I didn't really feel up to sitting in an office chair, and I mostly just wanted to lay down and sleep. So I do have a couple of videos worth of footage that's been just sitting around on the computer waiting for me to get to them, but I've been so sick that I just haven't gotten to it. Even though it is a little bit dated, I am going to go ahead and edit it, and we're going to release it, and you guys can kind of see what's been going on. And then there's going to be a little bit of a gap where we have gotten a few things done without filming it, just because as we were not feeling well, whenever you've got the energy to get something done that needs to be done, you just go do it. You don't worry about trying to muck about with a camera. We have to go out and get it done. So there's been a few things that we've gotten done around here that just didn't get filmed, and that's just how it is. First up here, we're going to show you some footage of, we got our last breeding rabbit, and kind of the stuff that we were doing around that, and a few smaller yard projects that we did get done before we were struck down by COVID. But anyway, so here's that footage from right after we got Miss Nimue is our new girl. Check it out. Hey everybody, welcome back to City Sowers. My name's Amanda, and this is our little backyard urban homestead. So, what we've got going on is we got a couple of little updates. We've got pregnant goats to update you guys on, and we got our third breeder rabbit, which is awesome. We went out and picked her up yesterday. We drove 3 hours to Reno, which is just over the border into Nevada, and we picked her up. So let's go over and take a look at her. Hello, ladies. Look out, look out. Mr. Arthur, how are you? Excellent. Miss Guinevere, looking quite comfy over there. Hanging out. And then this here is our new girl. This is Nimue. I know, honey, you're shy. I'm not going to bug her too much because she did just arrive yesterday. But she is a seal-colored Rex rabbit. So she's 9.5 weeks old-ish. So she's got some growing to do. But she's a nice, really pretty dark color. She's still a little shy, especially a little camera shy. But she traveled great. She's not related at all to either of our other breeder rabbits, so she can definitely provide us with some future genetics. But yeah, she's doing great, and we're really excited to have her. She's been handled some, so she's more tame than the other two were when we first got them. But hi, Guinevere. Let's see if we can... I'm not sure. They haven't really seen the camera much, so they might be shy of the camera. But hey, sweetheart. They're pretty relaxed. They like being pet. So Nimue is 9.5 weeks old. She'll be ready to breed when she is about 7 months old. So she's got some time to grow and mature and, you know, just enjoy life being a rabbit. I'm actually coming over here because Arthur and Guinevere are now old enough to start eating some like fresh foods. So, because they're 4 months old now. So they're still getting like their unlimited pellets every day, but I just started introducing, as of yesterday, they can have some fresh carrot tops. So when you're introducing fresh food to a young rabbit, you want to start with small amounts and only introduce like 1 or 2 new foods like every week. So they're on day 2 of eating carrot leaves, which Arthur is more shy about everything new, so he was more scared. So we'll see how he's doing today. Hey there, Arthur. Here you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah, good stuff in there, huh? Okay, so he was a lot more scared of the leaves yesterday and kind of like took him a minute to smell them. But now he's going for it, which is awesome. It's fun watching rabbits munch. Miss Guinevere over here, though, like tackled these yesterday. She was like, "These are mine forever." There you go, sweetheart. Oh yeah, see, she's already going for him. She's a good girl. So now we're gonna go ahead and come over here, and I'm going to feed the goats their grain. I have actually dried up my goats. Miss Jane she's a rock star. She was in milk. Let's see, she kidded last year in the end of March, and she was still in milk as of a couple weeks ago, and it's February now. So she was in milk for a really long time. But now she's pregnant, and she was producing, but it was a small amount of milk. So I decided that it just wasn't worth the continued effort. So now I'm going to just put her on the stand. It may still be a little early, but I put her on the stand, and I feel her belly every day for feeling for movement from the kids. And like I said, it's probably still a little early. Come on, Miss Jane. You can see her belly is already starting to get wide. She is just a goat that shows pregnancy early. Sweet Jane. Alright, there's some calf manna here. Do you want some sunflower seeds? There you go. Jane is a lot more picky when she is pregnant, like earlier pregnancy. She'll get to be more of a pig when she gets real big. But she does suffer from goat morning sickness, so she tends to just kind of pick at her grain, which is why I've been trying to feed her out in the yard, so she's got the choice of it, but the dog likes to eat it. But you can see she's already starting to get a little rounder, and that's just kind of how she is. She shows pregnancy fairly early. The past 2 times she's been pregnant, she gets round, and she gets round early. Okay, now I'm feeling her belly to see if I can feel any movement. Well, I don't feel anything yet, but it is still early, so we'll just keep checking her, and we'll start feeling stuff soon, I'm sure. Okay, so now we get one of her pregnancy cookies. I know, you get so excited for your cookie. Let her out. Come on. There you go. They know the drill. Alright, come on, Betsy. Come on. Let's go. Let's get the green. No, we're not going to the gate. Not today. There we go. Good girl. Betsy is a lot more willing to get on the stand. Jane's a little bit more fussy about it. Betsy is due in just like 2 weeks. I can't believe how fast this whole pregnancy has gone by. So her babies we can always feel. Sometimes when the babies are sleeping, you can just give a little bit of a wiggle and they'll wake up. Betsy's udder is definitely getting a little bit bigger, because she shrank down to almost nothing. Big kick when she dried up. I still don't know how many babies are in here. I'm hoping that she's got at least 2, because I feel like there's too much movement in there for it to be just 1. Are you done now? Are you done with your grain? Yeah? Alright. She's ready for her cookie. Alright, Mama. I know, your cookie's in my hand. Come on, let's go. Good girl. She is much wider with this pregnancy than she was with her last one. Come on. You gotta go through the door. You know this. There you go. Yeah, so she is much wider.
Last year she didn't even hardly look pregnant, and she squeezed 3 kids out, which was amazing, but they were all super tiny. This year she's much wider. I'm not sure how much of that is just, you know, she has had kids before, so now things are a little looser, but I'm hoping she doesn't have like a giant litter of babies in there. I'd be happy with 2 or 3. Let's stick to that. That's some sun. In the garden, we are getting ready to rip out all these winter plants and start our spring stuff, because we've got plants in the house. Like, I've got squash starts in there that they're gonna need to come out pretty soon. So I've got a couple more things I need to harvest. Like, I've got these beautiful cauliflower heads. I'm like, oh, actual like, this is legit, guys. Look at this. It looks like actual, like, cauliflower. Look at that. That is just so pretty. I can't get over that. Like, so I'm gonna harvest this in just a minute here, actually, because I do not want that getting any more mature and separating. Then if we come around to the other side of the bed, this is also a cauliflower, but it's green. And this one is a little bit more mature. You can see it's separating, so that's on me. I didn't pick it early enough, but that's still totally edible. I'm gonna roast that stinker. I get a load of this. These tiny little broccolis. So these are like hobo broccolis that I got from my mom. And hobo meaning they were homeless. They had nowhere to go. And so they spent way too long in the starting pots. And so it's like, this is the whole primary head, and this is like, it's getting ready to open now. But it's like, what am I going to do with that? It was like 1 bite. So I'm just letting it, you know, live its broccoli life, since I don't have anything else going on in here. But they're getting ready to be pulled out here soon. And these will totally be fed to the goats. They'll enjoy those. The collards, oh look, see, the collards are starting to bolt. So it's about that time. I pulled out all the kohlrabis. The goats really enjoyed those because they never actually bulbed up because of my nitrogen deficiency. So, but I'm going to come through here and I'm going to harvest as much of these collards as I can. We're going to eat them and pull out the plants and get these beds all amended. Now, because I live in the Central Valley in California, yes, I can garden year round. However, there's a catch to gardening year round. Because we have mild winters, we do not have like a definitive frost that will kill a lot of our pests. So we have pests year round. And I especially have struggled with aphids. Like, check this out on this 1,000 head kale over here. It's like ridiculous. So here's a bunch of aphids. Get that to focus. So here's a bunch of aphids. And look, more aphids. And look, more aphids. And look, more aphids. Like, they are bad. So the infested leaves I'm gonna feed to the chickens, just because, like, hello, free protein. But yeah, it's pretty bad. The aphids get really nasty here. Whew. Sun went behind a cloud, made me a little chilly. Ran and got my sweater. So the other pest that I struggle with year round is sow bugs or pill bugs or whatever you want to call them, roly-polies. They're awful. Oh my gosh. And they've been so much worse since I actually mulched my beds, because they stayed more moist throughout the summer, so they were just everywhere. So I don't get freezing temperatures cold enough to kill them, and with the mulch in the beds, it's not dry enough to repel them. So I have some organic Almarai listed pellets. They're supposed to help with that, so I'm going to be putting those in when I rip these plants out, because sow bugs traditionally are known for eating like dead and decaying plant matter, which is fine. But they're not hurting anything if it's dead, right? The problem is they will also eat young seedlings, and I cannot get anything to start from seed direct sown in my garden because the sow bugs are so bad. They eat the seeds and seedlings before they can even emerge. Like, it's bad.
And I know that they're being eaten and not just like bad seeds, because I have dug them up and found them munched on. Or I've even transplanted young seedlings and found them destroyed the next morning with the ground like crawling with sow bugs. So that is a struggle that I have living in such a mild climate. Now, I've got lettuces in here that are starting to bolt. Like, it's February, but our last frost has passed and the lettuce is bolting. I never actually picked on this lettuce because I wanted to let this bolt. I wanted to let it run its full course and be as healthy as possible. Because this is like my last seed that I had for this variety that I got at a seed exchange, and I'm in love with the name of it, so I decided to just let it go so I can have more, so I can get seeds from it. But this is called Drunken Woman Frizzy Head Lettuce, and I love that name so much that I have to let it go to seed so I can have more. This is a red sails that I've been pulling on it as it bolts and feeding it to the goats. They think that it's great. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. This other one here is not bolting. The kids have been picking on it occasionally to get their sandwich lettuce. So I'm trying to get them to eat that before it bolts. Check this out. I got an amazing Valentine's Day gift from, it's kind of like a joint gift, I guess, between my husband and our church. And there's a little bit of a story to that. But this is what I got. Hello. That's a beautiful water trough. This board is here to keep the cats out of this brand new, beautiful, fresh, fluffy dirt that they want to use as a toilet. But the story behind this trough is that with the COVID-19 restrictions and the fact that it was winter, we had a baptism for a child in our church who accepted Jesus into her heart, which is fantastic and wonderful. And but it was winter, so you can't really do a baptism outside in the winter. And there were some extenuating circumstances where it needed to be done sooner rather than later, rather than waiting until the summer. And so the church bought this beautiful water trough and had her baptized inside, which is great. It's wonderful. It was a wonderful day. But we recently had another baptism for an adult, and this trough was too small for him to fit in. So the church got a bigger one. And so they had this trough that's like 5.5 feet long and said, I don't know what we're going to do with this. And we said, hey, we got an idea. So they gave it to us, which is amazing. And my husband was like all over that. He's the one who organized getting it. And so he got it just for me, which is so exciting. I'm so stupid thrilled. So amidst all the other things that we're doing, the new projects, the projects that are waiting, like the garden stuff, we took on another project, which is kind of like a do-over of a project from last year, which is the walkway around the lawn. And here I'll show you kind of what we're doing. So last year we put this divider in and we laid the bark out in these areas all the way around where the lawn is supposed to be, which, you know, nice lawn. But the problem is that this area, like especially here in front of the shed, is actually raised up. It's too high. So the bark kept getting kicked out, scraped out, what have you. So I decided to just start doing it one day and take a shovel and start digging it down. And so we've been digging it down just a few inches even. Like, it'll make a difference in getting that bark to stay in here when we fill it up again. And I've gotten about this far on my own. The kids kind of worked on it some yesterday, but it was so packed down we had to soak it overnight. And I think David is actually planning on tackling the rest of it, because I've worked for 3 solid days out here in little spurts. But I'm excited. It's gonna look great. It should like work out and have all the bark stay in there.
Now with regard to the lawn, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Hey Betsy, you coming over to hang out? I'm just not sure. Hi sweetheart. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. If we're going to continue to try to get grass to grow, or if we're just gonna, you know, give up and make this a goat yard. No, you can't eat the camera. Betsy's like, oh, but the camera is delicious. Oh, sweetie. But yeah, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We've tried for the past several years to get grass to grow out here. It's just, ever since we got goats, we can't really keep grass growing in here because it's not that the goats are eating it, it's that their hooves are so hard that they're actually compacting the ground, and it kind of ruins the root system for the plants. So I'm not sure what to do, because I don't really want to fence the whole thing off and restrict it again. Granted, we don't have chickens on it anymore, so we might be able to just seed it and see how that goes, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. We're certainly open to suggestions, because we did the whole fencing it off and restricting access from the goats for weeks, and it looked great. And then as soon as the summer started to wane, it all died back. I don't know how much, if any of it, is going to come back with the spring. I don't know. There's some tufts here and there that have survived, but oh, hi, sweetheart. Thank you. So yeah, we may just end up not having a grass backyard. I don't know. We might just give up on trying to grow any grass and see if we can get things like clover to grow out here and just use it to grow natural fodder. I don't know. We'll just have to do some more research. What? My leg is not a step. Thank you. That's my ear. Thank you. Betsy, she's upset because I'm not petting her. What are you doing? Ouch. Oh my gosh. You're too pregnant for this. You're too big. Goober. Alright, move your body. Oh, there's a baby. Alright, you guys gotta check this out. This is hilarious. So, if you come over here on our side fence here that we share with our neighbor, there's all this stuff growing, right? This is a miner's lettuce, I believe. It's all growing right here in our yard, right? Alright, let's pick a little handful of it, okay? Come over here to the goats. Hey ladies, look what I have. They're all excited to get it like it's a treat. It's growing right over there. They have access to that. They hang out over there. I'm not sure why they haven't eaten it all. But hey, you know what? It's something that the kids can come out here and they grab a handful and feed to the goats, and it's great. But that's just funny that they have full-blown access to the area where it's growing and they're not eating it. You two are goobers. You're too silly. Oh, Betsy, you are all about being up in people's business. She's, oh, you come down to my level? I need to be in your face. Betsy likes to have the inside of her ear rubbed. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff there, huh? So we've got a lot going on today between the walkway and getting the garden ready. Just that we're doing today. We've got a lot going on today. We can't wait to bring you guys along and kind of show you what we're doing. Hey, hey.
That way.
Hey.
You seem to have made some progress.
I did. I decided to come out here, and Audrey and I have been digging up some pathways, as you can see, in the new basketball court.
Look at that.
Now just finishing up the...
Dude, that was all the way here when you started.
Yeah.
You just went.
That's what I do.
You're like a machine.
Yeah, well, I had help. So what are you doing?
Well, I just harvested some cauliflower, and now I'm gonna go do some baby store stuff with my sister.
And me, baby.
And that baby, apparently.
And that baby.
Cool. I want to finish this up.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me on this little update of our little backyard homestead, the things that are going on, new animals that we got, new animals on the way, getting the walkways done, getting the garden prepped. We'll definitely be taking you along for a lot more of those different projects and prepping and just doing. So, as always, this is your urban nerd with a goat herd telling you can grow where you're planted.